Entry here, and we're just going to venture on down these steps.
Old Central Satellites building.
Again, coming to you from this amazing location, Wentworth Military Academy. We're actually on the roof of the Sanford Barracks.
It does not have 50 stars for the 50 states.
Folks, you ready? Many majesties of history.
Hello, Show Me Go Explorer fans. We're here today with a really fascinating and historical place to show you guys today. Ladies, gents, everybody at home. This is the front section. It is windy, sorry, I'm trying to speak loud as I can. The front section of what was originally known as Blees Military Academy. Now, a little bit about history about this place, I'm going to talk as I show you, is by, 1896, Colonel Frederick Blees inherited his father's coal and iron mining money, so let's just say he was more than wealthy for his time period, and decided to invest his funds in building this really unique, really amazing building structure right here in these whole grounds for the cadets around here in the middle of Missouri. And by 1899, this academy was open, and it ran from 1899 until 1907. And he passed away around that time. His widowed wife had done what she could to hold on to the place, but by 1915, three doctors, Doctors Hildreth, Still, ended up taking over the building and opened up what was the first Osteopathic Sanatorium. Yes, and it was run until 1915 till 1968. And since 1968 to 1987, this building sat vacant until a lovely lady ended up getting the ownership and rights to the building, as well as some assistance to refurbish it and keep it intact and update some of the amenities inside and turn it into what is now some local housing units. But I just, like I said, real quick, just wanted to kind of show you folks just this amazing, amazing structure, because it has been here since 1899. You can see just how unique some of these features are around it, even for the time period. Colonel Blees really invested not only his money but also his resources in trying to make this one of the most luxurious military schools, as well as one could be for the time, and spared no expense in not only the insides and the outsides as well. So, like I said, real quick, just a little bit of history. We will be filming in some of the inside parts too, and we'll have that in our video. Because this building is so massive, though, we've taken some external photos for you folks to check out on our Facebook page, and it'll be on our Instagram as well. So I'm just going to cut this video off again real quick and just kind of showcase some of the amazing features real fast. And we'll see you folks next time.
Hey folks, this is Aaron with Show Me Go Explore. We're standing out in front right now of the old Blees Military Academy, which later got converted into the Still-Hildreth Osteopathic Hospital. It was a sanatorium. It was also the first osteopathic hospital in the world. So now, just so that you all know, when we go in here, this place is occupied as it has been converted into housing units for folks. So you may see some other people. It is active. We're going to do the best that we can. The main thing is we get to show you this amazing piece of history, which has been restored. Fantastic. I hope you guys are ready. Let's rock. First and foremost, this foyer is beautiful. Look at these stairs. All original marble that has been redone. Wrought iron down the sides. The copper is actually the adornments on the stairs, or the steps themselves. This is all polished copper. Okay? It is amazing. The work that these folks have done to bring this place up to historical code is fascinating. This truly is a Midwestern treasure held still for us to be able to relish and enjoy. So sometimes we won't have a whole lot to say because there's so much to soak in for you guys at home.
You can just see it mirrors on the other side as well, just from the entrance that we came in.
Absolutely.
But this was originally, like we said before, a military academy, later on converted into the sanatorium. And it was a military academy, I'll say once again, from 1899 to 1907, and then became the sanatorium from 1915 all the way to 1968. And again, once more, 1968 to 1987, it sat completely vacant and was not in operation as anything. So, not until it was bought and refurbished and redone, put into these lovely little living quarters. And these would have been rooms for the cadets or the patients for the hospital at the time. Since this currently is an inhabited place, we're not going to be doing our usual where we go door to door, room to room to look in places because people are currently living in each one. That'd be tedious, and if we're going to go into a room, we want to give folks enough notice ahead of time that obviously we're going to be there to be doing just that. So, but we do have permission to film everything else around this historic location and show you basically what it's been turned into today. Lights.
Folks, this back in the military academy days would have been the mess hall, which later would have pretty much stayed the same thing when it was converted to a sanatorium. So if you can imagine just for a moment, back in the 1800s, all of the cadets sitting in this big room having their lunches together.
Well, 1800s, 1899 and 1900s up.
Right.
But yes, currently this is just like a lounge area, gaming area for the residents. We've got a pool table, there's areas for puzzles, board games.
This door actually would have led to the west wing, but it was in such a state of disrepair that they actually could not save it. So it has been razed to the ground, unfortunately. But with that being said, we still have this entire sanatorium to view, and it's still here. And she's done such a great job of making it shine for today and the future. As you can see, the windows are everywhere in this building, so that all the natural light you could imagine are coming in. Just gorgeous.
I'll have to look back in here real quick. Just again, we try to do our thing by being thorough. So yeah, you can see there's just a little restroom area in there. This is just a spot for some storage, another restroom for residents to use. But yeah, like I said, just a nice little hangout area, which was, like we said at one point, in the mess hall, and that's just a little cornered out area back there. So yeah, and now we'll take you to the other side of the building. We'll be sure to turn off our lights as we leave.
Something else, folks, as we stop right here. One thing that this building has a lot of that are beautiful, skylights. They're all over the place. They really did everything that they could to keep this place lit. Other than that, they had gas lamps,
candles more than likely.
Candles, absolutely.
This is before electricity would have been put in and established.
Look at this stair system. Is that not beautiful?
And intricate.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this would be just like a nice little waiting area right now. It is, I think, overall, is it 4 levels? A 4-level building?
Yep, sure is.
So we're currently on the main level. We'll go to this other side over here.
Technically, this is the second floor.
Second level, yeah. Ground, yeah, there is a ground level too. But yes.
So the lady that ended up buying this place actually converted this part coming up ahead into a cafe, Paris, France-style restaurant. It is fascinating. She did an incredible job, and I hope you're ready to see this. It's amazing.
We were told too that we're thinking this part was actually the library at one point. But she, like I said, yeah, did convert it into a little restaurantette, if you will. And again, the restaurant part currently is not in operation, but maybe we can turn that around sometime soon. It'd be really neat to see this place thrive, because as you can see, it is pretty much plug and play and ready to go.
This restaurant's been closed maybe about a couple of years at this point, so it's all just been sitting here, as gorgeous as it ever was.
But yeah, she did all the decorations, all the detailed painting. I mean, really try to put her own little personality in here. She has a fabulous personality. We got to meet her earlier. Yeah, like I said, not bad for being a library at one point. Again, original pillars still inside here.
Actually, absolutely, yes. This room we forgot to mention, it used to be the library.
And she's also got some lovely little antiques that she's picked up over time, like that phone. And you can see there's bathrooms right there. And real quick, I like this little, I had to. But yeah, that's how you would have gotten in from the outside. That door would have opened up, so that way this was a restaurant for anybody that wanted to come and eat, not just the residents that lived here, obviously. Of course, I'm sure that was possibly an option for them too. They'd have had visitors and things come by. They could have come in here and had a nice little cafe meal.
The restrooms for this place and the actual kitchen itself are locked, so we won't be able to get in there to show you. However, we can look in through the server window to give you a really good idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just your standard little kitchen area. Making food for folks. So yeah, I've got convection ovens and all the like in there. So the server station with cups and things. She's a big fan of all things Paris and French, so there's a lot of Eiffel Tower themes and French themes. Ooh, and real quick, she told us too, this little treasure was from the Army surplus, I think she got somewhere. But she used it, she has these labels on here you can see for different things, little sugar packets and toothpicks and napkins and straws. Very good for what was it, upcycle, repurpose, that's what I'm thinking of. So alright, so we'll go out now the door.
This restaurant was obviously called Le Bistro Francois.
So yeah, that was the once library, then converted restaurant. And so we're just going to keep walking and filming, and I think we'll go do the ground level now, since it's right there. And again, we'll just kind of give you that entry shot. That's where we came in from the door. So now you can see.
If you see also, these doors actually would shut.
Yep. Really pretty.
Gorgeous.
Really articulate.
Amazing, intricate details.
And all original. And the steps are marble, and pretty much about 99% of that is also original too. I don't think she had to replace many of them at all. Now the floor, the checkered floor, is new. That wasn't here when it was the military academy. But it seems to go nicely with the place. So we'll just kind of have a little walk around again. And there's an entryway in there, waiting for the deliveries and stuff. But yeah, like I said, it really is. It's just a nice, quiet little residential area. Again, there's lots of rooms and things. You can just see we're going down the hall. Again, like I said, I cannot go room to room like we typically do, but I'll give you just an idea. Because this was for cadets and then later patients and now residents. But the fact that this building has still been here since 1899 is a really impressive historical fact. So yeah, we'll just turn back around. And you can see it just goes, and this is the main building. Now when it was the military academy, it was very self-sufficient. It had its own generator, it had its own farm, had its own dairy, had its own greenhouse. I mean, it's essentially kind of like its own little community out here for the cadets, and they kept that going while it was the sanatorium too. I don't know at what point some of the areas got shut down. Like I said, that there's no longer is a dairy out here and areas like that. And like we said earlier, part of this building did have to be taken down. The west wing area had to be taken down. It just could not be salvaged after it had been sitting vacant for so long. But regardless, the rest of the building, the main building, the one we showed out front, that's the one that we're in right now that's intact. So I'll just kind of show it, because I won't walk down the whole hallway, but I'll give a little zoomy zoom and just give you an idea. Again, like I said, that it's residential, because we do have, I believe, 2 more floors to show you and kind of give you a feel of, and she did install elevators back in 1987 when she put this place back together. But we'll go the old-fashioned way. We'll take the stairs, because I know how much you folks love to hear me huff and puff as I'm working the camera and trying to film these spots. But I mean, also the view is just really, really fascinating. I mean, like I said, we can see kind of that intricate pattern detail on the stairs there. Yes, Colonel Blees spared no expense when having this place commissioned and put together for the cadets. It really is. Like, so we'll get more of that information, that detail, and put that in the description in terms of some of the architecture that was used, some of the materials that were used, because we do have that information. It's just there's a lot of it, and my brain can only. I don't want to misquote it in any way, so I will mention that later on. Now, as you can see here, it's kind of, we're coming upon now what would be the 3rd level. You can kind of see how this is just lowered a little bit. My voice will echo slightly, so I'll be mindful. Try not to be too loud, because I don't know how well the residents can hear me on the outside of their doors. So I don't want to catch any of them off guard. So, okay. This is indeed the 3rd level, and you can just see you get more nice seating. Oh, you also might notice shadows and things happening, because this is the original, well, where the Skylight was. And there was glass up there when the place was first put together, but of course, having to redo all that, we now just have these cover panels, which still let in the light, and they were still able to have the roof redone. And we're coming upon another enclosed skylight area. You can just see there. It's all fenced in, but still part of the structure. And I got my exploring partner in the way of my stair shot. So we have here these stairs, and they are all original as well. Oak, she said. She had them sanded and polished, and they wanted to originally tear them off and rebuild, and she's like, no. Let's clean them up first and see what we have underneath. And so that's what's there, what's left. And again, I don't think hardly any of them really had to be replaced because they were in such pristine condition. And so, yeah. And while I'm down here on this level too, you can see I'm going to zoom in on what is called, oh, that's too far zoom, the dart and egg pattern. And it's just kind of that pink detail all around. But it's part of the original artwork and architecture in the building, the design.
And also, if you guys see this dark grayish, bluish trim that runs all the way around, that's all solid copper. But when she took over the building, it was so tarnished that it was almost impossible for them to be able to get it all clean and shiny. It just didn't look good. So this entire border is solid copper that they painted. And another thing about the skylight up above is that when it was original glass, it would have let through so much more light. So these were installed to be able to light the lower floor as well.
And again, since then we've had modern electricity and things added to it. Now that's still the natural light up there that I'm filming, but I'm just talking about the rest of the inside of the building. Has, you know, each room has its own lights, electricity, outlets, etc., for that sort of thing. So we'll just come back on up. We'll walk up these lovely historic stairs made of oak. We do have our light on right now, so that's why we're seeing all the shadow. I'll just give you a view from the top floor. And there you go. But yeah, if you can imagine, like I said, just at first all the cadets, when it was in place, that would have been about 8 years the school would have been in operation. And then yes, for several more years when it was the...
It was the Osteopathic Sanatorium.
Yes. I'm having a hard time pronouncing that word today, so...
But you can imagine the patients out here, or even further back, you can imagine all the cadets during military formations, doing their drills and exercise.
Yeah, really impressive. Just absolutely gorgeous building. And the fact that it's still here and preserved, and that we get to come preserve it on camera, well, that's just even more fascinating. We'll do a little zoomy zoom. But yeah, you've seen pretty much all 4 floors now of the main building of what was, like I said, started as the Blees Military Academy, and then later Hildreth Still Sanatorium, and now this lovely residential area. So I think we're going to go ahead and cut our video off for here right now, folks. And again, we're going to take photos too of the interior and exterior of this place. We'll definitely have a lot more of the history on it in our description area underneath. But go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And until next time, we'll see you folks again.